In January, I underwent major abdominal surgery in London, and at the time, it was thought that my condition was non-cancerous. The surgery was successful. However, tests after the operation found cancer had been present. My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy.
Princess of Wales Catherine Middleton making a public announcement about her disease, her journey, her battle against cancer. 42-year-old Kate Middleton has been diagnosed with cancer. Once again, putting the spotlight on onset of cancer in the younger population, not just in India, but even outside of India. It's a troubling trend that everybody, medical experts all over the world are keeping a very, very close eye on. What's really going on? Why is colon cancer, earlier seen in populations above the age of 50, and now being seen in younger population as old as 20, 25? Why is cancer striking the younger population? Early onset of cancer is a huge concern. A 2023 study by the Delhi State Cancer Institute showed that from people above the age of 50, the incidence of colon cancer is now increasingly shifting to young adults between 31 to 40 years of age. One recent study looking at 29 cancers in 204 countries found that there's been a 79% increase in early onset cancers. Diagnosis in those under the age of 50 since the year 1990. And that's the reason why Health 360 this week is putting the spotlight on early onset of cancer. How is that cancer in the younger population is becoming so common? What really are the reasons behind this very troubling trend? I'm Sneha Mordani. This is Health 360. Ovarian cancers being seen in women as young as 30, 35. Just so many young women around us are getting inflicted with breast cancer. Colon cancer seen in men above the age of 50 now being reported in men around the age of 30. What's really going on? What has been the journey of many of these young women and men who are battling cancer? What has been their experience? What do they have to tell us about cancer catching them this young? Take a look at this report.
28 साल का मैं था उस समय मुझे कैंसर डिटेक्ट हो गया था मुझे समझ नहीं आया था what I will do.
Ultimately, when you have cancer, when you're going through chemo, it's just, you just don't feel like yourself.
36-year-old Anisha Mathur, 32-year-old Sakesh Srivastav. Both inflicted with cancer at a young age, and they are not alone. Anisha is still unable to wrap her head around the fact that she suffers from stage 3 ovarian cancer.
My cancer is at stage 3C, which means that it has actually spread from its point of origin to a couple of other organs. From being somebody who's very active, who's in the field, who's very career-oriented, I've been at home for 3 months now. I'm barely able to keep up. My ability to talk for long periods of time is much reduced. I need a break.
Anisha believed that cancer ran in her family.
So my nanny's sister, my nanny's brother, all three of them, my nanny and her sister both had breast cancer. Then my nanny also had a brain tumor when I was very young. In fact, I lost my nanny when I was 13 years old. So now I've undergone the genetic screening. I've sent in my tissue samples and blood sample for testing. We'll get that report hopefully in the next few days.
32-year-old Saket was diagnosed with cancer when he was 28 years old. He blames his bad choices for it.
Basically, वही college time में ये था मतलब गुटखा खाना वगैरह, स्मोकिंग, मेजरली दी स्मोकिंग दे, तो ये सब ज़्यादा होता था। तो कॉलेज टाइम का था, उस समय आदमी उतना ध्यान नहीं देता है।
Across the world, early onset of cancer, defined as cancer occurring in adults aged between 18 to 49 years, is a trend that is worrying.
Tobacco forms a major factor in causing cancers. 50% of the cancers in male are tobacco induced, while 25% of cancers in females are tobacco induced. Now the other is alcohol.
बेसिकली क्या होता है मेरे हिसाब से, आज के जितने भी यंगस्टर्स हैं या कोई भी, नॉर्मली स्टार्टिंग में इन्फ्लुएंस हो जाते हैं किसी भी चीज़ के लिए। इवन तो मैं भी इन्फ्लुएंस में आके ही स्मोकिंग करने लगा, ड्रिंकिंग करने लगा, सब कुछ ये इन्फ्लुएंस होता है। लेकिन वो इन्फ्लुएंस आदत में पूरा तब्दील हो जाना, दैट इज रॉन्ग।
According to a journal by BMG Oncology, cancers exacting the heaviest death toll and compromising health the most among younger adults in 2019 were those of the breast, windpipe, lung, bowel and stomach.
We are also seeing that this cancer is being seen in younger population nowadays. The reason being that we are shifting our diet from the raw thing that we used to eat, unrefined thing that we used to eat. Now we are more into eating refined food. We are using food that is having a lot of preservative. Our food is having a lot of pesticide and insecticides. There is an increase in the incidence of colon cancer. Timely screening, annual regular screening by using colposcopy will go a long way in preventing colon cancer. Further, younger population is getting affected by cancer breast because of the use of hormone contraceptive pills, use of smoking, the pollution present.
Cancer not only has a deep adverse on a physical well-being but also mental. According to a report by National Institute of Health, when diagnosed, adolescent and young adults, that is 15 to 39 years of age, suffer from adverse psychological effects, as most of their potential years of life have to be spent with effects of cancer and its treatment.
I'm on the 21-day chemo cycles. After that, I will have a surgery. The ovaries as well as the uterus will have to be removed because the tumor is actually large enough that it is covering both ovaries. Then I will need to get 3 more chemo sessions, and after surgery they will do a lot of other scans and find out what else needs to be done.
और अभी का लाइफस्टाइल एकदम अलग है। इनका मैं खाने से लेके हर चीज़ में आई हैव टू मेक श्योर कि मैं प्रिकॉशन लेके खाऊं, कुछ गलत चीज़ ना खाऊं, स्मोकिंग एरियाज में ना जाऊं।
Cancer has traditionally been a condition primarily associated with older people. A study conducted by BMG Oncology in 2019 suggests that the cases among under 50s has been rising, with 79% increase in the new cases among the same around the world over the past 3 decades. Cancer is found more aggressive in youngsters as it goes undetected for longer period of time, as routine cancer screening is not really recommended for the group. But science and technology, along with the surge in cancer cases, has made significant upgrade, helping improving the statistics of survival rate.
But interestingly, my doctor was very, calm about it. There's no need to worry. The medication is very advanced now. There's a surgery and everything. But the good thing is that, according to my doctors, the complete disruption to what I believe was my normal life is for a few months, and then I can, go back to what I was doing. But I also have to be more careful. I need to exercise more. I need to eat better.
Cure rates have gone up significantly. Now, fortunately, it is partly because of the early detection rates. Only for breast and cervix are 2 things which make sense in terms of screening. What we should be talking about, and more importantly, is the early detection, and that is linked directly with the awareness level. If one is aware of symptoms and reaches out to the doctors for ruling out cancer, that will be great.
बायोप्सी वगैरह हमारी करवाई, बायोप्सी के बाद ट्रीटमेंट स्टार्ट हुआ, सर्जरी प्रोसेस हुआ, रेडिएशन हुआ, बिकॉज आई वॉज ऑन सेकेंड स्टेज आई तो उस समय मुझे कीमो वगैरह के लिए रिकमेंड नहीं किया गया था. टंग का ऑपरेटेड हुआ, देन आफ्टर रेडिएशन पड़ा था मुझे. उसके बाद मैं नॉर्मल अपने जॉब लाइफ में वापस चला गया था.
When younger people get cancer, there are choices to be made about fertility and long-term financial consequences and particular social needs to consider. Doctors suggest that there are a lot of preventive measures that could be taken to prevent cancer in young adults, including the recommended screening for the age group.
So what we do need to do, however, is be very, very mindful of what we are putting into our bodies, how we are treating our bodies, and just be careful and get health checkups done. Be aware of what is happening. Be aware of how our environment, our lifestyles are impacting us. So that's the one thing that we really need to be careful about.
It's worth remembering that we are getting better at treating nearly all types of cancers, and survival rates are improving. Preventive and non-preventive factors should be put forward. People should not just adopt lifestyle changes, rather should adopt understanding the biological mechanism and take necessary steps so as to fight cancer accordingly. With Nitika Gandhi and Achal Tiwari, Bureau Report, India Today.
1 in 3 types of cancers can be prevented. You heard that right. Cancer can be prevented. It is absolutely in our hands to improve our lifestyle, to do those small incremental changes that make a significant difference to the way we live, the way we take care of our health, which will go a long way in preventing cancer. Take a look at this report. The word cancer is enough to drive a chill down our spine. Often we think of it as an unavoidable evil that has no real causes. And to a great extent, cancers are in fact driven by genetics which aren't under our control. We're putting the spotlight this week on increasing number of cancers in the younger population. Studies world over do suggest that cancer can be termed as a lifestyle disease. This means that the lifestyle choices you make can either increase or decrease your risk of getting cancer. And having a poor lifestyle and an increasingly unhealthy lifestyle is linked to cancer. 1 in 3 cases of cancer can be prevented, provided you make healthy lifestyle choices. 1 in 3. Don't forget that. One of the main lifestyle factors that is linked to cancer is obesity. Experts suggest that obesity plays a major risk in developing breast, colorectal, pancreatic and kidney cancers. In fact, obesity is linked to the risk of getting 13 types of cancers. Now, the exact reason for obesity playing such a high risk factor isn't known, but experts do suggest it has got to do with the excess fat, tissue-producing hormones and extra chemicals that change the way our cells work. Excess estrogen levels linked to breast, ovarian and other cancers. Increased insulin also can cause hyperinsulinemia, which leads to type 2 diabetes, which is another known risk of cancer. Fat cells also produce hormones like adipokines. These inhibit or stimulate cell growth, which poses a cancer risk. In obese people, high level of adipokine called leptin can trigger aberrant proliferation of cells, which is linked to cancer. Obesity also increases inflammation. Chronic inflammatory conditions like gallstones can cause oxidative stress, which damages DNA. This could increase the risk of biliary cancer.
Obesity can cause cancer mainly in women because in the obese patient, hormones are converted into estrogen in the fat, and that hormone which is produced in the fat can lead to cancers, gynecological cancer and breast cancer also.
Linked to obesity is lack of physical activity. Physical inactivity can increase your risk of bowel cancer and also breast cancer, and possibly prostate, uterine and lung cancer, since being inactive can contribute to weight gain and directly ties into obesity. It can increase your cancer risk. Studies show that physical inactivity is responsible for 12% of colon cancers, 3.2% of breast cancers.
Many metabolites which are produced in the body with the food metabolism, which may be cancerous, are getting changed into healthy products by doing exercises. So if someone is doing exercises at least 30 minutes a day and 5 days a week, that reduces chances of cancer by at least 30 to 50%.
Another lifestyle habit increasing the risk of cancer is an unhealthy diet. When it comes to India, we are fast becoming a nation that is consuming processed foods. Our traditional foods are becoming a thing of the past. Foods like biscuits, breakfast cereal has become fashionable. Packaged foods are consumed regularly. It's not an occasional affair anymore. Processed foods are linked to cancer. Make no mistake. Experts suggest that such foods full of fat, having low amounts of fiber, may increase the risk of many cancers, including bowel, lung, prostate and uterine cancers. Processed or red meat, like bacon or ham, can raise the risk of cancer as well. Excess fats, proteins and calories in your diet. Excessive salt intake over a prolonged period has been linked to stomach and gastrointestinal cancers. Ultra-processed foods are the root of most problems and can lead to not just cancer, but a combination of chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease. It puts you at a risk of having multi-morbidities. Instead of unhealthy packaged food, which is full of preservatives, make fruit, vegetables and whole grain foods staples in your diet. Cut out unhealthy snacks, fast food and sugary drinks and replace them with nuts, fruit, yogurt or cheese. When it comes to red meat, experts suggest try swapping it with chicken or fish. You can limit your red meat intake. Ensure you are not eating processed meat though. That is dangerous. Eating a greater amount of ultra-processed food has been associated with a higher risk of developing cancers of the upper digestive tract such as mouth, throat and esophageal cancer, according to studies. In the United States, a 2019 study has estimated some 71% of the food supply may be ultra-processed.
Those additives and preservatives like non-veg burger and salamis, which are processed non-veg, they have been placed in the same category as smoking. They have the chemicals which can cause cancer. They are absorbed and metabolite. They can cause cancer.
Smoking again. Tobacco use causes cancer. We know it. Smoking causes 15 different types of cancer other than just lung cancer. You heard that right. It can put you at a risk of more than a dozen types of cancer. Use of tobacco products, not just smoking, but use of cigars or pipes also puts you at a risk.
Byproducts of smoking tobacco, they are excreted through the kidney into the urine. So kidney and urinary bladder, they bear the brunt. And then kidney cancer and urinary bladder cancer can also be caused because of smoking. And intestinal cancers can be caused because of smoking. So smoking can cause any cancer in body.
The main way is through damaging DNA cells. This damage is caused by 7,000 toxic chemicals present in tobacco smoke. The chemicals also impede the ability for cells to repair the damaged DNA, which ultimately leads to cancer.
Any smoking can cause cancer, and there is no definite parameters. There are many patients, many persons who are smoking throughout their life and does not cause cancer. And there are many who with very little bit of smoking can cause cancer. So there are studies that it is genetic also.
There's no safe number of cigarettes that you can really smoke when it comes to cancer susceptibility. Experts say the only solution is to quit smoking altogether. But did you know that drinking alcohol is just as bad as smoking and can also lead to cancer? Well, a lot of people actually say, mostly those people who drink, that a drink a day is actually recommended by the doctor. That is plain rubbish. Alcohol can cause many different cancers. A few of them are head and neck cancers like oral cancer, pharynx cancer, esophageal cancer called esophageal squamous cell carcinoma, liver cancer, breast cancer, colorectal cancer. Research has pointed to several ways that alcohol may increase your risk of cancer. Your body breaks down ethanol in alcohol to acetaldehyde, which is a toxic chemical that can damage DNA. Another DNA damaging substance is reactive oxygen species that alcohol generates in your body. Alcohol is also impeding your body's ability to break down or absorb nutrients like vitamin A, nutrients in vitamin B complex such as folate, vitamin C, D, vitamin E and carotenoids that may be associated with reducing your cancer risk. Lastly, alcohol increases estrogen production in the body, which is associated to higher cancer risk.
For cardiologists, they say that alcohol helps in reducing the risk of cardiac problem. But as oncologists, we say that alcohol increases the cancer problem, especially those who are using smoking and alcohol both together. It's 1 + 1 is equal to 11.
Other lifestyle factors also have the potential to inform us about everyday choices that we can make to lower our cancer risk, including how much sleep we are getting, how much stress we are experiencing, how isolated are we feeling, the health of our microbiome, the bacteria that live in our gut and on our skin, whether we own pets or not, are we happy, clues to a modern mystery on why so many young people get cancer could be lurking in information collected generations ago. Cancer kills twice as many as people as any other single preventable cause of death. The good news is that we can do something about it. Poor lifestyles are linked to cancer, as we know. And the reason why so many young people are getting cancer because of lifestyle-related causes is because the younger population is adopting a poor lifestyle. Let's start to tell you about tobacco first. Tobacco, as we know, is linked to 15 types of cancer. Data shows that tobacco consumption among the younger population has increased significantly in India. According to the Global Adult Tobacco Survey, India, 2016-17, 29% of Indians age 15 and above, which is nearly 267 million people, are using tobacco. According to a 2021 study published in the National Library of Medicine, about 77% of smokers and 75% of smokeless tobacco users in India start before or at the age of 21 years. The Global Youth Tobacco Survey, Fact Sheet, India 2019, revealed that there is a significant number of young tobacco users in India, with 8.5% of school students, 9.6% of boys and 7.4% of girls currently using various tobacco products. Young Indians are also drinking alcohol like never before. Alcohol drinking in social circles has become normal. A recent study by the medical journal The Lancet shows that there has been a significant increase in alcohol consumption in the younger population in India over the last 3 decades. The analysis by Lancet showed consumption was the highest among men in the age group of 40 to 64 years, in which alcohol consumption had increased by 5.63% since the year 1990, followed by the 15 to 39 age group with a jump of 5.24%. 15 to 39. That is the age group where early onset of cancers is being seen. Mind-boggling figures that indicate that the younger population in India is consuming alcohol like never before. India's $20 billion alcohol market is set to grow by 7% annually in the 2021-2025 period, with whiskey and spirits among favorites. Let's talk about the third factor now, which is obesity, and as we've seen, it's linked directly to cancer. It's a non-communicable disease. Essentially, it is a lifestyle disease. Let's now take a look at the global analysis, the data that suggests that obese young Indians over a period of time are increasing in the country. The Lancet has found that 12.5 million children in the country between the age of 5 and 19 were grossly overweight in 2022, up from 0.4 million in 1990. What about men and women above the age of 20, where early onset of cancer is being seen? The data reveals that 44 million women and 26 million men above the age of 20 in India were found to be obese. This figure being 2.4 million women and 1.1 million men in the year 1990. So the comparison is between the period of 1990 to 2022. India ranks 182 among 197 countries for the prevalence of obesity in women and 180 for men in 2022. That brings us to the end of this edition of Health 360. Now, during the course of working on this show, while we were planning for it, we met up with cancer patients in our age group, young cancer patients, all of them with the question, why me? That's the saddest part about this disease. Very often, there are no reasons why a person is inflicted with cancer. It's unexplained. Young children, as young as 5, are diagnosed with cancer. But we can find solace in the fact that very often, different types of cancer, and there are quite a few, that can be avoided. Small incremental changes in your own lifestyle can go a long, long way in preventing cancer. On that positive note, I wrap up this edition of Health 360, also leaving you with this very positive message from the Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton, who spoke about her journey, her battle against cancer, and her words of inspiration, cancer survivors like her. Leaving you with this message, thank you so much for watching.
It has been an incredibly tough couple of months for our entire family, but I've had a fantastic medical team who have taken great care of me, for which I'm so grateful.